How's it going, everyone? This is Mark and welcome to a different video. This is going to be actually kind of cool. We're going to be replicating Mythbusters myths in video games. Yes, it's actually pretty cool. This game I'm in right now is called BeamNG.Drive, and what it's based on is semi-realistic physics that is meant to crash cars and see what happens. I was playing around with the car options and I found that they actually have a semi-truck with a plow on the front, exactly like the one that the Mythbusters use when they tried to bifurcate a car by driving it right into the plow. So I figured, let's try and replicate what they did and see if we can get a car to split in half in the video game. So if you're not familiar, Mythbusters in their Alaska episode special 2, they drove a car into a snowplow scene. If the wedge triangular shape could split the car in half, one on each side. First off, they did a test at 55 miles an hour with a traditional car in the engine in the front, and it didn't really do anything. So what they tried again was at 70 miles an hour with a car and its engine in the rear. Both of those were eventually busted, but they did revisit that a later episode. Rather than accelerating the car towards the plow, they accelerated the plow towards the car using rockets. So we're going to do all of that in this video. So I love Mythbusters. It's actually one of my favorite shows. It's kind of sad that it's gone. One thing you guys may not know about me is that I was actually a physics major in college before I changed to business. Not because physics was too hard for me, but because I didn't really know what I would do with a physics major. So physics and science is something I really enjoy doing. So this has always been something that's very interesting to me, and I recently found this game and I thought this would be a great way to, test some of my favorite Mythbusters myths. If you want to see more videos like this, there are other things, and they have a JATO rocket powered school bus, which we'll be using in this episode, so don't worry about that. But if you want to see like the traditional JATO myth, definitely let me know. We can try driving a car off a cliff, seeing if it always crashes and burns. That was another myth they tested that was busted. There's a kind of cool things we can do in this game, so let me know what you want to see. I love making these things, so let me go ahead and talk you through what we're going to do. So right here, we are at a drag strip in San Francisco. Pretty cool because the Mythbusters are based in San Francisco. So what we'll do is we will drive our sports car down this drag strip, reaching 70 miles an hour like they did in the myth. And just to make it as realistic as possible, this has a rear mounted engine, nothing in the front, giving us the best possible chance of getting a bifurcation. We're going to skip the first part of the myth with traditional car at 50 miles an hour, just because I want to see if we can really get the results. Then if we don't get a bifurcation at 70, we'll ramp up the speeds to about 120 or so. And then if that doesn't happen, we'll accelerate the plow at the car. Okay, so let's go ahead, get up to the starting line once we turn on the car, and let's see if we can split this car in half. Oh, and this game also has very cool slow motion capabilities. So yes, we'll get the famous Mythbusters slow motion in this as well. Okay, let's pull up and let's go ahead and take off when it turns green. There we go. And we will be aiming for 70 around there. And once we do get up close, we'll go ahead and slow everything down. And here we go. Good thing about video games is that if you mess it the first time, you can always try again. Okay, holding at 70. And slow motion. Here we go. And there you go. That did not quite work out. The cool thing about this slow motion is that the slow motion camera can actually follow the action. So that's actually really cool. And we'll go full speed there. And there you go. We got a leaking radiator, some bent bumpers, but the car supposedly is still drivable. And it is. So, can't quite see out the front window, and the car is pulling to the left a lot. But, it's still drivable. So, this myth is busted. We actually didn't get quite the same results as the episode. They did get it split down to the back seat. But nonetheless, in my testing, this is busted. Okay, so everything has been reset. We're ready to try again. This time go as fast as this car can possibly go. We'll get up to the starting line, see if we can get this thing to split in half. I believe the fastest I've been able to get this car up to is around 120. So that should be definitely sufficient to get this car into the plow. Okay, we'll slow it down here. See if we can get anything. And, ooh, yeah. That was a pretty severe crash there, but no splitting the car. We did get a pretty nice dent there in the front, which is very close to splitting it in half, if we can see right there. But unfortunately, the car was not split in half. The engine's still fine. Radiator's leaking again. But it's not drivable. The truck, on the other hand, is perfectly fine. Alright, so now we are going to be replicating the results. The same thing they did in their revisited episode. If I go ahead and straighten out this car a little bit, we have got the car placed at the end of the road, and we have got a bus. Now this bus has the plow on the front, and even cooler is if we look at the back right here, as you can see, we've got JATO rockets on the back. That is pretty awesome. So hopefully this thing can get up to a pretty insane speed. So let's go ahead and see if a rocket-propelled sled can split this car in half. Alright, so here we go. And we're off. Got a rocket-propelled bus driving down the road. Go ahead and split this car in half. That's going to be pretty crazy. Okay, and gotta slow this down here because I need to make sure I can line up this. And it looks like we're drifting the bus here. Oh. And the car has caught on fire. And unfortunately we did not get the same results that they did in their revisited myth. The car is still not split in half. So there you go. Maybe the physics of this game just aren't quite right. But hey, we tried our best. Unfortunately, this myth is still busted, even in terms of video games. But if you want to see more exploding cars, flying buses through the air in slow motion, more Mythbusters myths in video games, definitely let me know. Hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any more videos like this. This is Mark with AtTech, and I will see you in the next one.